I'm Phyllis Aileen Donahue, and I am a resident of Englewood, Florida, and for half a year. And the other half of a year, I live outside Lexington, Kentucky. And I'd like to share with you about compassion, but also its sidekick, I'd like to talk about empathy, compassion and empathy. And I wasn't sure what I was going to share, but today, I listened to President Obama's eulogy that he gave for Vice President Biden's son, Beau. And he spoke about Beau being reared in an unconditional love environment, which created a fertile ground for compassion and empathy. So that eulogy really helped me for today. I was very, very fortunate to inherit and was nurtured unconditionally by two people. One, it was the entrepreneurial spirit of my paternal grandfather. The second was the spiritual energy of my maternal grandmother. Those two played very, very important roles in my early socialization as well as growing up. And I mean, still to this day, I look back and I said, I learned that from my grandmother, I learned that from my grandfather, and that I attribute some of the things I achieved with them. But they're nurturing, and then as a young adult woman and mother, there were two stages for me. And I was a professional public relations and marketing person for 25 years of my career, but I did not have any academics. I had no degree, but I was able to rise to very high levels of productivity and training, sub-management and management, and it was during the 70s. So I was sort of present as a female in a society that was mostly male, but I still was able to achieve and move forward. And what I ran into were a myriad of women who looked for some role model or someone to mentor them, like, I want to do that, or do I go? How do I go? And I would, day in, day out, I would spend time with these women and listen to them, listen to their story, and then help them or nurture them on making some of the decisions so they could move forward. That was the area that I feel I was a compassionate mentor. And then my children were grown, I was able to go back and get my academic degrees through my PhD, and I became an adjunct professor to a non-traditional program that the people in the program were between 25 and 50, and they were returning so that they get their academic degree. And in that role, I ended up being the empathetic partner to them, because I saw, after I worked 25 years in a career, I went back to get my academic degree. And so in empathy, I identified with them, and I was able to listen to them and walk with them during that time. So those are the two things that that I'm sharing with you today on compassion and empathy and how closely related they are. Thank you.
Are you playing